In this video, I'm going to discuss about the methods of preparation of these alicyclic hydrocarbons. I've already discussed about this introduction and nomenclature in my previous video. The whole chapter has been uploaded on my YouTube channel, and the details of this have been given in the description box below. Yeah, if you want to go through the entire chapter, you can look at the description box and click the link. Please do like, share, and subscribe my channel. Yes, I've already told you what are these alicyclic hydrocarbons in brief. This alicyclic means ali means aliphatic, cyclic means the ring uh, structures. These aliphatic cyclic hydrocarbons are nothing but alicyclic hydrocarbons. In other words, we are going to do now with the preparation of these cycloalkanes. Yes, cycloalkanes. So this, in order to prepare the cycloalkanes are nothing but the derivatives of this open chain compounds, this counterpart. So if you cyclize them, these open chain compounds will get this cycloalkanes, and many methods are available for the preparation of this cycloalkanes, but all methods are not suitable for all ring structures. So in order while choosing the method, we have to be careful for that particular ring size, and have I'm discussing here about the three methods. A few more methods are also available, but let's discuss this the Fruens method for the preparation of these cycloalkanes or alicyclic hydrocarbons. Second one is a Dickman's method, and the third one is they can be prepared from the salts of these dicarboxylic acids. See, the first one is this Fruens method, where in the Fruens method, the starting material is the dihalogen derivatives. There's dihalogen derivatives. That means the halogens atom is present on the at opposite, I mean, the two ends of the molecule, that is the terminal ends of the molecule. So when we take this, they're nothing but this alpha omega dihalogen derivatives. That means the alpha is in the first position and so omega is in the last position. Therefore, the halogen atom is present on the first and the last atoms, that's the carbon atoms of the molecule, that is the open chain molecule. And when this dihalogen derivative, that is treated with sodium or zinc and heated, that is heating is this delta sign, then we'll get this cycloalkanes. For example, in this case, we are taking this 1,3-dihalopropane, that is a dihalogen derivative, that's the halogen atom is present on 1 and 3 carbon atoms of this open chain compound, that is a propane. So it's nothing but 1,3-dihalopropane. When you're heating with sodium or zinc, we'll get this cyclopropane, and the bond is formed between this carbon and this carbon, that is the terminal molecules. Terminal carbon atoms is a new bond which is formed in between the two carbon atoms here, and 2NaX is a side product here. This is also called as an internal Wurtz reaction, because this is taking place within the molecule. So internal, like Wurtz reaction, it is happening. So this is internal Wurtz reaction. For example, if we have n number of molecules in between these two carbon atoms, so the general reaction can be represented like this, and where n is not more than 6. When treated with zinc here, we are getting this cycloalkane and ZnX2. So let's see this mechanism, how this is happening. Z, we know that this is 2 plus charge. So when this X and this X is removed, ZnX2 minus ZnX2 and the cyclopropane is formed. There's a positive charge is there on between these two carbon atoms, because X is carrying the negative charge along with it. Therefore, it means that it has single electron with them, each of them. So the bond can be formed in between these two carbon atoms. So this is a new bond which is formed in between the terminal carbon atoms, and cycloalkane is formed where N is not more than 6 here. That means we cannot prepare uh, the cycloalkanes which has more than 6 carbon atoms. So it's a cyclohexane. It can be this method is useful, that is a Friend's method is useful only for the preparation till cyclohexane, that is small ring compounds. Yes, this method is suitable for the preparation of small ring compounds. Let's see a few more examples now. When we are taking 2,4-dibromopentane, that means methyl groups are present at 1 and 3 positions here. Yes, 1 and 3 positions here. So 1 and 3 positions. When treating with zinc and heating it, we are getting 1,2-dimethyl cyclopropane. So the new bond which is formed is this thing, and the methyl group is present at 1 and 2 positions in this particular cycloalkane. So so the new bond is formed in between the carbon atoms where this halogen is present. Next, when in order to obtain this cyclobutane, so we are taking 1,4-dibromobutane and heating with zinc or sodium, and we are getting the cyclobutane, and this is the new bond which is formed in between the terminal carbon atoms. Yes. In order to obtain the cyclopentane, here we are taking 1,5-dibromopentane. So again, cyclopentane is formed and ZnBr2. Yeah. So I've already said when N is more than 6, this method is not useful for the preparation of cycloalkanes. Instead, the Woods reaction will take place. Woods type of reaction will take place, and this particular product is obtained instead of cyclization. So two molecules will react instead of this internal Woods reaction. The Woods type of reaction will take place. Instead of this Fruens method, the Woods type of reaction will take place and result in a different molecule instead of this cycloalkane. So the if two halogen atoms are far apart than the 1/6 positions of the carbon atoms, then this method is not useful. That are the limitations of this Friend's reaction. And now let's look at this Dickman's reaction, the second method for the preparation of the cycloalkanes. Here we are, the starting material is the diester here. When this diester is treated with sodium ethoxide and a sodium ethoxide here, yes, we are treating this diester in this particular case. In order to obtain this cyclopentane, we are using diethyl adipate. So the 1,6 diester. That means if you are taking 6 carbon atoms, we are getting the 5-membered ring. So we are getting the one atom less than the starting product, one carbon atom less than the parent. I mean the starting product here. So 1,6 diester when you are taking and treated with sodium ethoxide here. So this OET minus this is an alpha hydrogen, alpha carbon, this is also alpha carbon. So this can abstract a proton either from this carbon or this alpha carbon. So since the molecule is symmetrical here, it says the molecule is symmetrical here. So the OET minus can abstract a proton either from this carbon or this carbon here. So from the alpha carbon, it will abstract a proton, resulting in the formation of this anion here. So this C is carrying the carbanion, this one negative charge here. Now this acts as a nucleophile, this carbon. So this is acting as a nucleophile here, and this carbon atom now will attack this carbonyl carbon. This is partial positive charge. We know that carbon attached to oxygen will carry the partial positive, and this is partial negative charge. So this is acting as an electrophile here. So this nucleophile will attack on this electrophile, and this will take place, resulting in the formation of this particular intermediate. And again, oxygen, which is carrying a negative charge now, will again results in the formation of a double bond, kicking this ethoxide ion out, that is OET minus OET. This is coming out, resulting in this formation of this cyclic ester. So this is nothing but we are getting the cyclic ketoesters. This name is cyclic keto ester. uh, ester, COOET, and it's a ketone group is present. So for this is cyclic form, so cyclic keto ester, and this is an alpha carbon, and this is beta. This is also called as beta keto ester. So we are getting the beta keto ester in this case. So this beta keto ester is formed. Now from this, a little of acidic workout followed by this reduction will give you the final molecule, that is cyclopentane. So how this is happening, we'll see. This beta keto ester on acidic workout followed by hydrolysis and heating will give you cyclopentanone, which on Clemenson's reduction, that in the presence of Z and HC, in the presence of HCl, will give you the reduction will take place and H2 is added here, resulting in the formation of cyclopentane. See, from this step to this step, how is this happening? We'll see in the next slide. Yes. When this ester, that is beta keto ester, is treated with, again there is base here, OET minus. In the presence of this base here, there is excess of base. uh, this will this is an alpha hydrogen, so this alpha carbon, this is more acidic now. The pK of this is 11 here when compared to that of the normal ester, that is 25. The pK is 11 here, that means this is more acidic, so this easily can lose a proton here. This OET minus will attract this alpha hydrogen, resulting in the formation of this anion. So in order to neutralize this anion, this HCl is added. When HCl is added, this H is again added to this carbon, resulting in the formation of this beta keto ester. So this is the reason why we are adding an acid in this step. And then hydrolysis. On hydrolysis, this ester is hydrolyzed to carboxylic acid, COOET. Now we'll get COOH. This COOH now is heated now to remove this CO2. This CO2 is removed, minus CO2 on heating will give you this cyclopentanone. This cyclopentanone on Clemenson's reduction, that is as in HC, in the presence of HCl, will give you this final product, that is cyclopentane. Here now, yeah. So in this particular case, that is diethyl adipate, that 1,6-diester is giving you the cyclopentane. So one less than that of the starting material we are getting as a ring here. So this is also called as this reaction now will on a bigger picture, we are treating with the diester with sodium ethoxide in order to cyclize it. That is, cyclization will takes place, resulting in the formation of cyclic ketoester, that is beta ketoester. Then upon acidic workout, followed by hydrolysis and heating, will give you this ketone, which on Clemenson's reduction will give you final product, that is cycloalkane. This is also called as intramolecular Claisen condensation, because taking place within the molecule, this Claisen condensation. So this intramolecular Claisen condensation, where the electrophile and nucleophile is present in the same molecule here. As I've already told you. So in order to obtain the 6-membered ring, that is cyclohexane here, so we are taking this 1,7-diester. So one less than this starting material is formed as a product here. That is diethyl pimelate is taken as a starting material in order to obtain this 6-membered ring, that is cyclohexane. So this, upon treating with sodium ethoxide, then followed by acidic workout, and then followed by Clemenson's reduction, will give you, this is sodium ethoxide. First is treating with sodium ethoxide, followed by acidic workout and hydrolysis and heating, and then followed by Clemenson's reduction, will give you the final product, that is a cyclohexane. Yeah. And this let's look at the limitations of this Dickman reaction. There are few limitations. This method is suitable to prepare only till 5 to 6 membered rings of carbons. After that, this cannot be prepared. So, smaller rings or rings larger than the cyclohexanes do not uh, cannot be prepared or did not yield the good results. So these are the limitations of the Dickman reaction. And the third method for the preparation of this alicyclic hydrocarbons is from the salts of this dicarboxylic acids. So when, for example, when we take this calcium adipate, so six membered ring, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are taking this calcium adipate, 6 carbons. When we are heating this, will give you cyclopentanone. So minus CaCO3. This CaCO3 is removed from this like this. This is removed, resulting in the formation of cyclopentanone, 5 membered ring, which on Clemenson's reduction, ZnHC in the presence of HCl will give you cyclopentane. So distillation of this calcium adipate gives cyclopentanone, which on Clemenson's reduction will give you this cyclopentane. So here what we are happening is calcium or barium, both can be taken here. Calcium or barium salts of dicarboxylic acids are distilled here. The distillation of this will give you this cyclic ketones, which on Clemenson's reduction will give you the final product. Yeah, these are the methods for the preparation of alicyclic hydrocarbons. The first one is the Fruen's method. Second one is Dickman's method. And the third one is they can be prepared from the salts of dicarboxylic acids.